Hello there, and welcome back to Matt Facts. So there are 10,000 species of ants known to science, and in that number of 10,000, there's so many different unique and cool species. Today, I want to focus on three of the most unique group of ants. The first group I want to talk about are known as leafcutter ants. You might have seen them in like all sorts of nature documentaries, bringing leaves up and down in big trees in tropical rainforest areas. They're in Central and South America. There are about 47 different species of these leafcutter ants. But what's really cool about them is what they're doing when they cut those leaves is the leaves aren't their food. They're actually using those leaves to give to some mushrooms, and then they eat the mushrooms. So these ants have actually figured out agriculture and they farm mushrooms, which is amazing. That, and it's said that they kind of have the most complex societies besides humans. So leafcutter ants, their nests can be around 600 square meters of area with like a bunch of satellite nests around their main mound. And that each nest can have around 8 million individuals. The next group of ants I want to talk about are honeypot ants. Honeypot ants can be found all around the world. I don't know the exact number of species there are, but there's a good amount of honeypot species. And they're called this because there are a certain group of workers known as repletes whose full-time job is to be a food storage unit. You may have seen in the past an artist did this really cool project where he gave them different colored honey. And so what they do is they drink sweet liquid and their abdomen expands a lot. You can kind of see here. And they just sit underground in the nest. And whenever another worker ant comes by and needs food, they will do something called tryphallaxis, which is basically they just kind of throw up the sweet nectar into the other ant's mouth for food. The other ant will sometimes eat that themselves, or they kind of act like a delivery service and they'll go take the honey to another group. About 49% of the colony are these repletes, or these honey holding ants. And some humans will actually dig these ants up and try and eat them because apparently they have a very sweet taste since they are holding on to that honey. And the last group I want to talk about are by far the most interesting to me, the 50 species of slave-making ants. There are three main types of slave-making ants. They all have kind of scientific names, but I'll give you what I kind of think of them as. So the first one I think of kind of as the assassin. So what happens is a new slave-making ant queen is pregnant. She sneaks into the nest of a different species of ant, kills the queen, takes like kind of covers herself in the old queen so she gets that smell, and tricks the whole new colony into thinking that she's their new queen. That way she has a whole bunch of new workers who help take care of her and help her raise her young. And then once her young are raised, they kind of take care of themselves and they become their own nest. The second type of slave-making ants are what I would call like the bad roommate. So in this case, the new pregnant slave-making queen sneaks into a different species nest, but instead of killing the old queen, she just kind of hangs out in the same area, or will sometimes even latch on top of the old queen, and then their eggs will get mixed, and that way all of the non-slave-making ants will take care of all of her slave-making eggs that she's laying, and then the two species will coexist inside the same nest just for the rest of time. And now the last group is the real cool one. They're very Games of Thronesy. So what happens here is your slave-making ant, she starts her own colony, she starts laying her eggs, but her babies are all kind of more warriors. They can't really take care of themselves, so what they do is they go to other nests and they steal all the babies from those other nests and take them and kind of raise them on their own. Most of the time they can just go in, take the babies, and nothing happens, but sometimes the other ants fight back and there's full-blown wars. Or sometimes once they get these new babies, they'll bring them back to the nest. Then they get used to the scent of the slave maker ants and they think they're slave makers. But every once in a while, they realize they're not a part of this colony and they will actually get slave revolts where they fight back and they start killing all the slave making ants. So yeah, I'm Matt. Those are some ant facts and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.